I am 30, unemployed, and I've been in Brazil for a year. So here's a few reasons why I decided to reset. Number one, life is short. You just really never know how much time you have, and it's something that we talk about and we say, but I don't think it's embodied enough from our day to day. We just go on just assuming that we'll have another day. And again, I know it's something that we try and emphasize and try and be deliberate about, but when you are in those cycles and get in your routines, when you're deep in your routine, it can be tough to stop and really recognize that it's not a given to even get up today. So RIP to the couple of artists that we've lost recently, Tay Keith, Oliver Tree and friends. Like, I know that they were very prolific while they were here, and they were able to reach incredible heights, and I know they still had so much left to give. Prayers up to the fam and the friends and just everybody who's been affected. Obviously, they were some of the bigger artists. They were the ones who were going to make the headlines, but it happens every day, all the time, unexpected. You just never really know how much time you have. And so I just couldn't not try and create the reality for myself that I see, the reality of actually going out and seeing the world and seeing what else is out there, what else all of Earth has to offer. Where I was a year and a half ago, I never felt like that was something I could realistically see myself accomplishing. Like, traveling is something that you hear as a goal all the time from people. Everybody always wants to travel more, but it's like so difficult to come across the means to do it. It just kind of falls to the wayside. It doesn't feel, one, as important, or it just doesn't feel as like plausible, especially from, again, where I was. Like, I've never had an office job, PTO and all that. Like, I don't really know how that side works, but it's a little difficult to come across that time for yourself and like hospitality. Overall, I just felt like I couldn't have one of those stories where I regretted never learning the language, or regretted never doing anything for me, or regretted never making enough time, or stepping out of that path that is predefined for us. And I just never have wanted to live to work, work to live. Like, neither, honestly. I'm good on that. Number two, resetting the nervous system. A year removed from the US, I feel so much calmer. I'm still deprogramming, especially as I continue to figure out my own separate program, but at least there's a little bit more paz tranquilo. When I talk to the homies, they tell me they can really feel that from me, and that's really good to hear, because from my day to day, there's still those moments where I will wake up and I'm like, dang, man, like it just immediately still hits me, and I have to reset and calm myself. So just being in it, you don't always see or feel or recognize or know if you are getting to those points. If I am getting to those points of those goals that I had wanted to reach when I was even initially getting down this way. So to hear when I get on the phone and I'm talking to people and they're just like, you feel so much more in yourself, more embodied, more at peace. I feel like I'm moving at a more measured pace, in a more comfortable position, and not having to feel the intensity of it. I think that is that has been like the biggest vibe check. It's just something I was really seeking when I first came down here. And, I still have those days where those normal stressors of how to afford it all come up. And at the very minimum, I can at least, just internally process it so much easier. And it just doesn't feel as heavy. It doesn't feel as intense. It feels a lot more like manageable internally. And that in itself is so priceless. So it's not only manageable internally, but it's just really nice to hear that it's radiating externally as well. I don't think we talk enough about being stuck in states, cycles of stagnation, where, yes, according to capitalism, you need a job to eat, be socially accepted, to dream beyond your current situation, living standard, any of that. But year after year, I just continued to see myself stuck in the same spots and cycles, and that's all despite my best efforts at the sort of growth I was trying to achieve and seeing for myself. Real growth in the personal means that I wanted, and a lot of that all came down to the amount of time that I was spending just trying to maintain. And on top of that, the more I worked, the more I felt embarrassed to have worked so hard to have earned so little. There's just so much time and energy and sanity that I was giving to employers who saw me as completely expendable, or gig jobs that suck out the life force for crumbs. You know, it really makes you think. I stopped and I thought one day, I was just like, what am I doing? Like, for real, like living that way, there's no time or energy left to stop and actually see any sort of progress or real growth in the places where you want to keep growing. I was just literally like trapped, trying to maintain in a system that is specifically designed for that, just to be stuck maintaining and or worse, especially for people who look like me. So I left to try for reason number 3. Challenge myself to step outside of the box. There's a lot going into this one. And so I think I'll start with answering the actual question of like, so why Brazil?
It's like I didn't know anyone, and I didn't speak the language.
But to sum it up quickly, from a more spiritual, astrological lens, I have a sun line running through the country, which is where your confidence, visibility, leadership, identity, all that stuff flourishes. From the outside looking in, at least, it seemed like Brazil's overall sense of community and spirit, and just the way that life should be shared and experienced, and all of that really aligned with how I also saw things. It seemed like the core values that I have of centralizing joy, fulfillment, and selflessness over greed, individualism, destruction, which happens to drive the business that is cosplaying as a nation, that is the EUA, it just seemed a lot more aligned with where I am. It was something that I just could really see for myself, and I just couldn't keep doing life scared, man. I just couldn't keep feeling increasingly unfulfilled and constantly seeing the hate and the bigotry, and the evil and the incompetence. Like, it's and to just continue ignoring all that just because everybody else is doing it. We're all just doing it. We're all in this shitty situation. I couldn't continue passively living life. I know there's an established set of rules and a way to do life, but I had to do this for myself. I had to believe in myself. I had to believe in my energy. I had to believe in my frequency. Because it's all frequency. It's all what you are putting in, you are going to receive back tenfold. And if you don't believe that, then there's no way to achieve that. It's just never gonna happen. Like, it just would never happen any other way. If your spirit is so low and dejected and it's so disrupted and misaligned the way that mine was, like, there was no way that I was possibly going to be able to move forward the way that I had seen for myself. And I know it's coming from myself. Living back there, man, like that stuff was not easy. And I'm not saying that this is just a walk in the park yet, but it feels so much more bright. It feels so much more fulfilling, man. Like, I can't even cap. It just feels so much, it feels so much more purposeful. But I'm still figuring it out. I'm still adapting. I'm still getting things together. And I can like proudly say that I'm doing it the way that I want to do it. But granted, all that being said, the freelancing has been a bit slower recently. So if you or someone you know just happens to need a video editor or any sound work done, hit my line. I'm gonna even drop my quick demo reel at the very end of this video down here. Gonna put some links down below. Also, if you were just down to send a little extra love and support my way, I'm gonna drop those links down below as well. Anything is highly appreciated, and I'll definitely make sure to shout y'all out in the next video. That's all we got for today, but more on the way per usual. Shout out Brazil. Yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next.
Bikini man, I bring the real to the day the Lord free me, man. Never imagined that the kids would wanna be me.